Here, but the backrooms are a complex of random and, in majority, dangerous limited environments. It exists outside our reality and are almost infinite. However, we're talking about a certain sublevel of the backrooms, and yes, there are levels between levels, and one of those is the group called as the Shady Gray. So, grab a popcorn, turn off the lights, and prepare the spooky atmosphere. I'm FJ, and today we'll be talking about the Shady Gray. There is only one known entrance to the Shady Gray levels. I say known quote unquote because the level it's found isn't well explored due to the nature of it. The level in question is level 71, also known as the Void Basement. It's an infinite dark basement-like structure with very low lighting and with a few amount of entities. It's the only entrance recorded, although no one knows what it actually is. Reports from the travelers that went to it indicates that they've lost their minds while being level 71 and appeared in the Shady Gray when sanity got back to normal. The first level of the Shady Gray is the level 0, also known as the Zero. In it, you discover that all the levels of the Shady Gray get more and more unstable the farther down you go, and all of them, except one, are totally colorless. The first level is a very stable forest with a roofless shack in the middle. Inside the shack, you can find a grandfather's clock and a sign saying, "Welcome to the Zero." Inside the forest, you can find a lot of waterfalls with almond water. However, it's not recommended to drink any liquid while being on this level, since during the night, all liquids turn into liquid pain, a substance that can cause a stomachache, headache, leak of pus, skull fractures, internal bleeding, eyeballs explosion, organ rupture, and paralyze the user. So the non-pleasant fate awaits you if you drink anything inside the level. The level has an unstable 12-hour day and night cycle that shifts almost instantly, just like the flip of a switch, you can say. You gotta have to be careful to not be caught off guard by the night. The grandfather's clock shows the time, so you can use it to determine the time and prepare, since night on this level is a living hell. During the day, the level has no entities. However, the night is totally opposite, being so dark that no light source will work except the grandfather's clock itself. It's full of entities that kills any human in sight, and since the light doesn't work, nothing can be seen, but they can't see you, so it's best to run away before the night kicks in. To leave this level, all you need to do is grab a stick from the tree and draw a pentagram on the mud. The earth will consume you and you'll be brought where things don't get any easier. Level 1-1. The second level of the Shady Gray is the level 1 or 1-1. This level has a very threatening life risk due to its unstable nature and hostile environment. Its design is a mansion full of glitchy and unstable furniture. If you touch the furniture, a very non-pleasant death by disintegration awaits you, since it is so unstable that it can spread and carry on to living beings. The level has only one entity, known as the Landlord. He is a very dangerous humanoid being that wears a black suit, fedora hat, and holds a case. If you're spotted by him, he will walk towards you and say that you're invading his property. It is possible to talk to him, but be aware that no other traveler has survived having a chat with him. Running away isn't a choice either, since all doors and windows are locked, but that's a very important part to exit this level. To leave the level, you need to grab a gun and shoot the landlord until he's incapacitated. However, it is not an easy task since he can dodge bullets and other projectiles. After shooting him successfully, you break through any locked door on the level before he wakes up. If you manage to do so, you'll be on the next level, 2-2. However, if you're not, I wish you good luck. The third and most peaceful level of the Shady Gray is the level 2 or 2-2. This level is the only one considered safe for a traveler. It even has an MAG base composed by 3 other personnel. In case if you're not aware, MAG is a government and science-like agency that basically tries to bring order and explores the levels to find the truth about the backrooms. It's a very good thing to have in places like this. The level is a dense forest full of snow, but don't be deceived, as it has a high temperature, so high that can even provoke damage on tissue if exposed for too long. So remember to bring your backpack full of almond water for this one. The only entity that can be found on level 2 is known as the Fallen Angels, which are humanoid-like figures but with black wings on their backs and fatal damages on some parts of their body. They can talk about their past, their names, and how they've died, which is always connected to level 71 somehow. So talking to them is not recommended, especially to talk about the level 71. They'll get very stressed and harmful towards the traveler, saying things like, quote unquote, "He did this to me because of my sins." Or, "I can't say his name because they're lying." And the most common one of all the quotes, "Fade into the Shady Gray." They can even try to kill the traveler at this point, but they're fragile and easy to kill. There are even fully documented data from one of these talks to a fallen angel, but I won't show it so the video doesn't get too long and boring. To leave the level, all you have to do is ask a fallen angel to leave that place. It will travel you to the next level of the Shady Gray, although it is a pretty dark mystery of how they do so. The fourth and the level most populated by humans is the level 3 or 3-3. The level is basically an archipelago surrounded by the black toxic ocean, being essentially made of water, mercury, and oil, making swing activities impossible in this level. However, there are clocks floating on these oceans that, somehow, are immune to the toxic effects from the water. These clocks are very special and unique, since each of them has a special property that can be used, mostly as a weapon to other beings. Let's take a look at them. Digital clocks. It can bring you to level 195, which is a classified OMED difficulty level, meaning that only authorized personnel can be aware of it. I can make a full video about it if you guys want, but long story short, it is basically an Earth-like environment. However, it's made of heavy metals, such as mercury, zinc, iron, and tungsten. So, not a good place to be. Watches. In case you point one of these to a living being and reverse the clock, the living being will be transported to exact day of their death if they've not been into the Shady Gray. However, the victim can change their fates if they're careful enough to prevent death from happening. In fact, the only person to ever leave the Shady Gray was a watch attack survivor. Grandfather clocks. Touching a grandfather clock can either age you so much that you become too old to walk, or de-age you so much that you become a baby. However, these clocks are found on deep waters, so it can make the victim drown after touching it. And lastly, analog clocks. The rarest clock of level 3. It can transport you to the next level or back to level 2. However, it is a random event, so it's not sure that what you want can happen. The level is habited by small tribes that hate each other, so they'll provoke wars between them almost every day. Even foreigners are seen as threats, so it's not recommended to approach them, or they will use every clock that they have against you, and you may not have the luck to be alive without the effects of each one of them. The fifth level of the shady gray is called as level 4 or 4. It's the level with the most amount of entities of all the shady gray. Ironically, its design resembles the design of level 11. Its only difference is the colorless reality and the vast number of entities found. It's a river filled with skyscrapers and streets at each side. It appears as a modern megalopolis, with full of creatures that will hunt you down and buildings that defy the laws of gravity. The most common entities to be found on this level are facelings, which are entities that steals anything that you have in your possession, and mangled, which is a high aggressive entity that stomps you to death. Both of these can be found inside and outside of the skyscrapers. Speaking of those, it is not safe to enter one due to its instability that can spread, just like the furniture from the level 1-1. Some of the buildings are even upside down or floating above the ground, making it even more dangerous to enter and harder to leave in case of an ambush. Another peculiar thing from 4-4 environment, it is climate change. It can happen at any minute with a tremendous and violent speed. So 1 hour you're dealing with a hurricane, another you're dealing with acid rain or earthquakes. Even its temperature can reach extreme and high variations in a matter of seconds, become even lethal to unprepared travelers. Exiting this level is a matter of sheer luck. You'll have to no-clip to the ground in order to get to the next level. However, you can't go backwards anymore. So this level is known as the point of no return in the shady gray. The sixth level of the shady gray is called Lost Hope. However, this name doesn't come out of thin air, since most travelers that went through this level reported a draining hope feeling that the more they're exposed to the level, the more it grows. The ground and walls act like one, so it can be very confusing to navigate through the unstable level. In fact, it is so unstable that travelers get disintegrated after spending time inside this level. There are no reported signs of entities and exits from this level. The only description found was this, open quote, "All hope is gone, nobody is going to help, we're fading, we are all dead," end quote. The seventh level of the shady gray is called Too Far. It's theorized that after your body gets destroyed and lost hope, the soul is the only thing that makes it too far. There is only 2 pictures documented about this level, which is our on screen right now. The only stable description that is given about the level is this one, open quote, "You went too far. Too many layers of reality collapse on you. You even think that you can begin to understand what you're dealing with," end quote. The end. The 8th and last level of the shady gray is called the end. The picture representing the level reminds the viewer of the fiery pits of hell described in the Bible. The only stable description found about the level is, open quote, "Welcome to the end. I am one with the void, we are one. Reality has faded. Hell has collapsed into a shady gray. Fade into the shady gray." In the end, the sub-level is a very high risk place. Once you're in, the few ways out are risky and not specified yet, so there's still far more to explore about the properties of the sub-levels, be even declared as an enigmatic level by the Wikidot themselves. It's called Hell from the Backrooms due to the fact that it has 8 levels representing the 7 layers of hell and putting an even more darker one at the end. However, Some theories declare that it represents the 5 main stages of grief, with 2 new deeper stages that can represent either insanity and suicidal tendencies. Whatever it represents, it's by far one of the most creative levels the community has seen so far, uniting the creep liminal spaces properties from the backrooms themselves and the eerie feeling from the absence of vivid colors. So, after all the talk we had, I want to ask you something. Are you brave enough to travel inside the shady grave? I hope you never find out. So guys, this is the end of the video. I hope you liked it. In case if you liked it, leave a like, subscribe, and comment on our suggestions. Was a really fun to do video, and it has a really good backstory about the backrooms itself. I can make some videos about it in the future, about the backrooms, the whole science of it. I am not guaranteeing anything because I'm really tired of school and stuff. Other things I want to talk about is the website, which is on the description below, so you can have a proper yourself reading it. There are some things that I have not put in the video because they're changed, like the tasks of the site can change, and I didn't want to put all the phrases or the video would get too boring and too many quotings and stuff, so I decided to cut it off. I want to also credit the creators, some from the footages that is seen towards the video. It has they put really hard work in it. All the credits will be in the description below. Even the music used in the video will be in the description below, so I hope you really enjoy. And other than that, you can either stalk on me on Twitter or Instagram. There will be a link down below as well. So at the end of the video, I hope you liked it, and I hope to see you on next time. See ya.